muckers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having the best day ever. Okay, I am so ready to sit down and give you a story time that I have been waiting to give you since this happened. Pretty much putting it frank, that's literally, I've been waiting to tell this story since the night that it happened. So I want to show you a picture of this night before I get into this story, just so you can kind of know the vibe that we're talking about. So here is a picture from the night in which I am going to be talking about throughout this video. So take it all in, take it all in, take it all in. Okay, so for a little bit of context, that is in LA. Now, more specifically, it is, I don't necessarily know, in California, like LA, there's like different parts, there's like downtown, Soho, all these different things. I don't necessarily know which part of LA it is just because I never really paid attention. I just got Kat to get Ubers and I was like, okay, I'll go. It might have been downtown, it might have been West Hollywood, it was one of, oh, West Hollywood, I don't know. But we were going to an after party. So we went to the Free Britney rally, which happened and was amazing, and then we went back to the hotel room for a couple hours, and then we were going to an after party. And the after party was a Free Britney after party, hosted by the amazing Free Britney team. And it was in a club, I think called the Naughty Pig. Yes, it was called the Naughty Pig. And it was a great atmosphere. They had great security on. They were really nice guys, and they were talking to us like these big men, right? Like big, like almost like scary men that like are like bouncers at like a club or whatever. And they just had the most friendly personalities, and they were talking to me about the fact that they actually went and saw Britney Spears. That's not the story, I'm just setting the scene. So the club was really fun, everyone was having a great time, and it was nice meeting all these different people. I met a lot of people who do YouTube, and they were really sweet, and it was nice meeting them for the first time. There were a couple YouTubers that I met for the first time. I said a quick hello to them, then got in line, and it was a really nice atmosphere. So we were at the party, and then after, midway through the party, I got really hungry, so me and Kat scootered on the electric scooters to In-N-Out, then we came back, then we did the rest of the party. We were there for like another 2 hours, and then after that, it was approaching 1 or 2 a.m., and I really was buzzed from the party. And I was like, I'm not tired yet, like, can we do something more? And Kat was like, sure, we're gonna do that. So we get on our electric scooters and we're going to go then to the Pink Wall, which is the Instagram Pink Wall. And if you've seen, I'll actually get up the photos from that as well. It is a really fun wall. You know, it's like a tourist trap. Like, people go there for, like, LA. You know, like, oh my god, I'm in LA. Like, I go to the Pink Wall or whatever. You know, it's kind of, it was underwhelming. But we got our pictures there. We were there at, like, 3 a.m. or something like that, and no one else was there. And normally it's, like, crowded and packed and insane. So we actually got there when no one was there. But before we were leaving the club, multiple things happened. Two just incredibly bizarre stories happened. So, first of all, we're leaving the club and we're going to go get our scooters. We get our scooters, they're on equal, you know, different sides of the road. Kat gets hers and then comes over while I'm about to get mine. Now, a very sweet viewer comes up to me and basically introduces themselves. I get a picture with them, and they're really, really, really sweet. I had a great conversation with them. Shout out to you if you remember. I forget your name, you were really sweet, but I remember that you told me that you watched the James Charles video specifically, so shout out, you were very sweet, and your friend group was really sweet. So we were walking down, and then this guy comes up to us. And so he starts talking with Kat immediately, right? And I'm like, alright, whatever, like, someone is talking with my friend. I'm just gonna continue talking with, like, this sweet group that I find, right? So I'm talking with them, and I'm getting all the information off them, and, you know, we're talking back and forth. But at the corner of my eye, I'm keeping track of my friend who's talking to this strange man. You know, by strange man, I mean we just don't know him. All loved him. So I'm keeping an eye here, just in case of anything went wrong, or maybe, you know, I was seeing that she was getting uncomfortable, or something along that line. You know, if you're ever on a night out and you, like, see someone that, you know, you recognize, or your friend sees someone, and, you know, you're not necessarily talking with them, but you're just, like, watching your friend who's doing it, but not, like, staring at them. That's what I was doing. I was keeping a close eye on it, and then I was like, oh my god, are they flirting? Are they, wait, I was like, are they flirting? Like, looking back, and I was like, oh, okay, what's going on here? And so then he really starts coming on to my friend. And he really, like, I mean, really starts coming on to my friend. And then brings out, randomly, has an eyeshadow palette. Like, that makes as much sense to you as it does to me. So he has an eyeshadow palette, and he brings out, and so at the corner of my eye, I'm seeing this unfold. And this is whenever I excuse myself from this current conversation, and I kind of join in with this conversation. But I'm not really, like, involved in it yet. I'm just kind of like an observator. So I'm watching, and he has an eyeshadow palette, and he's trying to flirt with my friend but like in a way of like, oh, do you want to put like an eyeshadow palette on me? You know, I can put a shade on you, pick a shade and I'll put it on. Like really, really, really like cringe. No offense. It was really weird. And so anyway, very clearly drunk. A lot of people at the party were. Good for you. And so he's really coming on to my friend. Really. And it's like, I'm there almost as just like a third party, third wheeling at a conversation that I know my friend also doesn't want to have. So this is whenever I kind of come into the conversation and kind of introduce myself and try to make it like more of a 3 conversation instead of a 2, just because I was very wary of how the conversation was going. So then I introduce myself and I'm trying to like involve myself in the conversation. However, he is very clearly talking to my friend. He is very clearly solely talking to her and he is interested in her and he's going for it and he wants to put an eyeshadow palette on her. And then it starts getting a little bit more awkward. It's like silence in between, but just like not breaking eye contact. And I'm standing there like, okay, why are we doing it? I was at this stage like, okay, like how do I navigate this? So then I get called over here again and I'm having this conversation, but this time more chinned in with the conversation that's happening. And I'm starting to see that he's almost trying to like hug or like go in for a kiss or something like that. But very clearly my friend doesn't want to do that. And then he also knows my friend doesn't want to do that. So he like doesn't do that anymore. And it's just like this really awkward encounter that I'm seeing between like a very drunk person and my friend who like wasn't. And so at this stage then, I come around and I'm enjoying the conversation by now me involving myself in it and distracting from what the original, very awkward, almost like a Tinder date in real life kind of situation. So then is whenever Kat gets her scooter and kind of goes away. Now at this stage, I'm going to say my goodbyes to these guys and I start to walk on. So in the distance I can see Kat going to get her scooter and starting to charge it up because you have to scan it and then you get your scooter. So I say goodbye and I'm about to start walking and the guy walks in front of me. And then guess what? He starts flirting with me the same way he was flirting with my friend. But not just like, oh, okay, you know what, good for you, interested in everyone, love it. No, I mean, I was observing the same conversation, hearing it out of this ear. The same conversation then starts being said to me, and then the fucking eyeshadow palette comes out again, but no eyeshadow being put on him. He's like, pick a shade and I'll put it on you, but like, pick a shade and I'll put it on you. Pick a shade and I'll put it on you. And I'm like, no, like, you're not touching me. I'm sorry, you're not touching me. And so then I go, I'm Adam, nice to meet you. And I actually remember his name, but in case he's anything related to the sweet viewer who came up to me, I'm not going to say your name and put you on blast. I just want to give context to the one of 2 stories that I'm going to tell. And so then at this stage, he does this to me. It's awkward, right? And so we're having a conversation and again, very clearly flirting, but it's nothing exciting to me on a night out. No one's trying to flirt with me and I'm feeling, you know, like, oh, my ego's going. No, it's nothing like that because it's the exact same flirting jokes that were said to my friend. So I'm aware of this at this stage and I say to him, I'm like, oh, like, I know that you were just trying to hit on my friend and whatever. I'm going to go on my scooter now. It was lovely meeting you. And then I say his name. And then I'm about to go away. And then he turns around to me and he's like, I just want to stare deeply in your eyes. And I'm like, and it's the first time that someone's tried to have eye contact with me that I've been so uncomfortable. And so I'm like, it was lovely meeting you, right? And so then I go away and he pulls me back. No, I'm not that far away from him at this stage. I just start walking, he pulls me back, right? And he goes, it was just so lovely to meet. I'll never forget these words. It was just so lovely to meet you. I was just, you know, wondering if I could kiss you. That never gets said to me. No man has ever told me, I just want to kiss. That has never happened to me. But listen. If you had not hit on my friend before, maybe you would have been successful. So then he goes like that, and I'm like, oh no, like, no thank you. And I'm like, oh my god, I just turned down someone who wanted to kiss me, right? And then he goes, why? Like, he continues it, and I'm just trying to walk away and get to my fucking scooter. And I have never felt more clever in my life. I immediately was like, I'm not from here. I have to get a COVID test before I fly home. And in my head, I was like, that was so clever. That was so clever. It was such a good excuse. And then this motherfucker turns around to me and went, I got a COVID test this morning. Did you? Bitch, no you didn't. And so I go, sorry, I haven't kissed anyone else tonight and I'm not gonna start now. And I was like, have a good night though. How many fucking times did I say that? So I start to walk away again, right? Again, right? And he goes, can I hug you at least? And at this stage, I was like, I want to get on my scooter. And I went, yeah. And it was like this. Lovely meeting you. So I walk away, right? So, okay, there's two stories I'm going to tell you. The other one happened right after it. But me and Kat then got on the scooters, and Kat one was, like, dying. The scooters, like, they have to recharge or whatever. So we're going down the same street that we came by. And just for a little closure on that story, we were driving down the street to go down to the pink wall. We were on, like, I think it's going down to, like, Melrose or something. Again, that's, I think, where that street is. We're crossing by it, and we see the motherfucker making out with just this random guy. And I'm like, was he going around everyone? But he didn't know that me and Kat were, like, besties, and also, like... What was that? He didn't know that we were friends, but also at the party together, and so used not only the same pickup lines, not only the same jokes, literally the same script on both of us. You know, Kat never even gave him a hug. You know what? Good for you, Kat. I was just like, I want to get out of there, right? So anyway, the next story... Speak of the devil, it kind of sexy me. Speak of the devil... Wait, that's just literally like no other... I don't know why I repeated that twice. So anyway, we're going down to wherever the street of the pink wall is, right? So we're going down there and we stop at a red light. And so the scooters you drive on the side of the road, down the road. So we drive and there's a red light and we stop there and someone's on the footpath about to cross the same one that we're going down. This really sweet girl, maybe early 20s, she turns to me and Kat and goes, I really love your guys' vibe. And we were like, oh, thank you so much. You know, you're at that stage of like a night out after, you know, having a few drinks and like you just want to talk to everyone. That situation previous just happened, but like this girl seemed really nice and she was on her own. So we were like, okay, you do not seem like a threat to us, whereas like a man does. So we were like, thank you so much. And she was like, I just love your outfits. And then she was like, where are you from? Like your accent isn't American, now Ireland. And we're just talking back and forth. Before all this conversation was going on, by the way, the green light went and we all just like stood in like the section of the road up here to cross and we just never crossed. The cars were so confused because in LA as well, they like stopped for you to, like they barely stopped. But anyway, they had stopped for us and then the cars just like drove on because we didn't move, whatever. So anyway, we're talking with this girl and Kat's introducing herself. I'm talking a little bit about myself and then we're like, so what are you up to tonight? And she just goes like, this is like, I was like, this is my LA story. She just goes, oh, you know, and we went, oh, like, what's wrong, whatever. We thought she was at the party. You know, I'm just going to this old man's house. You know, I'm only in LA for a few days. He just, like, flies me out here, and, you know, he's just so old. I'm just, like, on it, like, I'm just waiting for him to die, but, you know, he, like, pays me really well. And we're like, okay, queen. And she's like, oh, no, not like that. He just, like, wants to be seen out with me. You know, nothing really happens. He just, like, gives me money, and I come out here, and I just be pretty while his family sees me. And we're like, oh, like, I'm like, how do you respond to this conversation? So Kat took over the conversation at this end, and I was like, fascinated. I was like, this is my next business venture. So she was like, oh, yeah, like, you know, he's in his late 80s or whatever. Like this, and she's like, oh, I just have to go see him for like 10 minutes to say like hello and tell him about my day, and then, you know, I'm gonna like walk home or whatever, and he's gonna give me like money just for coming out to LA and like give me money for clothes and stuff like this. And Kat's like so into the conversation, and I'm like, this is fascinating, because she's like basically describing to us that she sees this like old man, whatever. She sees this man, late 80s, in LA, and it is basically just him having her as like a girlfriend for his family to see. Like, it was telling us that she gets money from him. By the way, queen shit, she literally got $3,000 every single day. I'm not joking about my next business venture. I'll be going out to LA and finding that address. But anyway, she's talking to this and she was basically just telling us, let me tell you, by the way, we stood here for like realistically probably 14 minutes. Green light, red light, green light, red light. That motherfucker was going in and out and in and out, and we just stood there that entire time because we were like, you are interesting. And so then she's talking to us, and what I'm not really gonna get into here, whatever, she starts opening up to us about the fact that like she just wants to like use the money for like going around LA partying, whatever that, and you know, like a little bit more extreme, whatever. I'm not gonna talk about it on here. And we were like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, like he has a bunch of, you know, like Thanksgiving parties coming up in a couple of weeks time, and he basically just wants to take pictures with me, you know, like couples pictures. And then he's gonna fly me home, and then I'm gonna come out again for Thanksgiving and get $3,000 a day and just go shopping and all like this. And we were like, wow. And then the best part about this story, she goes, so where are you guys going tonight? And we're like, oh, we're going to the pink wall. And she's like, I love the pink wall. And she's like, can I come with you? And we were like, It's lovely to meet you, but we don't know you. Like, we hope you're having a great night or whatever. And so then she starts walking with us to the pink wall. Now, keep in mind, at this stage, we have our scooters. So because she was walking, we didn't want to be rude and just like fucking like on the scooters. So we're walking on the scooters with her a little bit on the road. And then she goes like, she literally starts walking with us and then goes, oh, I forgot, I've got to go to his house. I was like, girl, you literally just told us that you were going to his house. So anyway, she was a fun one. I was about to say his name. The guy was a fun one. Listen, that entire night, to me, so many things happened within the course of that was literally within the course of maybe half an hour of each other, the two stories. It was like, bam, bam, bam. And it was so fascinating. I was like, I feel like this is the LA that people want to be in. And listen, I'm not saying that to be mean or anything like that. I'm saying that as like I was so blessed with these two encounters. And it really was just, it's like funny stories to retell now, and it was just like so wild. But the two things happening so close to each other at the same place outside of the Naughty Pig, I really believe that that's the name of the club. After the Free Britney after party, you just can't beat it. You just cannot beat it. So, to the girl, I hope you're well and safe. To the guy, I'm sorry for not kissing you. Maybe don't hit on my friend before it. Maybe you'll be a little bit more successful next time. Probably not, but I just want to be nice. I want to go back to LA now. Well, anyway, I have so many stories from things that happened on nights out or just in general from LA, but also just like from Brighton and from London, that if you enjoy these like little story time videos, please let me know. There's way more intense ones. This one is one that I just like, I tell all my friends now whenever I see them, and I just like wanted to tell you because I look at you the same way. So if you enjoy this style, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. My feelings won't be hurt. I'll appreciate the criticism. And yeah, I hope you're having a great night, and I'll see you in my next one, and bye. Mwah.